If you've started noticing subtle changes in your body or behavior, consider this your warning sign. What feels like something small can quietly grow into something that threatens your health and your future. Your body doesn't always shout for help. Sometimes it whispers, and those whispers are easy to ignore, especially when alcohol is part of your routine. When drinking becomes a habit, you start missing those quiet signals. Your body may already be trying to tell you that something's wrong, but the numbing effect of alcohol masks it. By the time you recognize what's happening, the damage may already be deep. So pay close attention, because these early warnings are your body's way of begging you to stop before it's too late. One of the earliest clues is frequent urination and constant thirst. You might wake up several times through the night needing the bathroom, or feel like no matter how much water you drink, it's never enough. It might seem harmless. Maybe you think you're just staying hydrated. But what's really happening is that your body is struggling to process sugar properly. When alcohol floods your system day after day, it throws your blood sugar completely out of balance. The body reacts by forcing you to urinate more, trying desperately to get rid of the excess sugar building up in your bloodstream. At the same time, it makes you thirsty, so it can flush those toxins out faster. What looks like a small annoyance is actually your body's emergency cleanup operation. Another major red flag is needing alcohol to fall asleep. You might tell yourself it's harmless, just a nightcap to unwind. But every time you rely on a drink to relax, you're teaching your brain that it can't calm down without chemical help. Alcohol suppresses your nervous system, and soon your body forgets how to drift into sleep naturally. Without realizing it, you've built a dependency that keeps growing stronger. When you finally try to stop, you can't rest. Your body trembles, your thoughts race, and your nights turn restless. That's not just insomnia. It's your brain rebelling against the cycle it's been trapped in. What started as a relaxing ritual becomes a cage. Then there's the slow shift in timing, when the first drink of the day starts creeping earlier and earlier. At first, it's after work. Then it becomes late afternoon. Eventually, you find yourself opening a bottle before lunch, convincing yourself that you deserve it. But what's really happening is that your tolerance is rising, and your brain is chasing the chemical balance it can't find anymore. It's a silent slide that pulls people from occasional drinker to dependent, without them even noticing the line being crossed. The earlier that craving hits, the deeper the grip alcohol already has. Another sign hides in your emotions. Waking up anxious, irritable, or uneasy for no reason. You might think it's stress or poor sleep, but it's actually withdrawal in disguise. Alcohol changes the chemistry of your brain, and when its effect wears off, your system panics, begging for the next dose to feel balanced again. Even if you don't drink every night, regular use builds a rhythm your body gets used to. When that rhythm is disrupted, the anxiety creeps in. It's not just moodiness, it's your nervous system struggling to regain control. Excuses often follow soon after. You tell yourself you're drinking because you had a long day, or because something great happened, or because life's just been too much lately. Every reason feels logical in the moment, but these justifications are your mind's way of protecting the habit. When you start rationalizing every pour, you're no longer being honest with yourself. You begin performing mental gymnastics to excuse a behavior that deep down you know is harming you. And once honesty fades, self-control follows right behind it. Then come the physical tremors, the faint shakes in your hands, the twitch under your eye, the trembling in your jaw. Maybe you dismiss it as too much caffeine, or low blood sugar, or just nerves. But your body knows what's really happening. Alcohol has started to interfere with your nervous system. The toxins are literally disrupting communication between your brain and muscles. As it worsens, you might struggle to hold a pen steady or lift a glass without trembling. These are your nerve endings crying out for relief, not another drink. The next sign is more subtle but just as serious. When alcohol begins replacing everything else in your life. You start skipping workouts, missing family gatherings, avoiding friends. Not because you don't care, but because drinking has taken priority. You plan your evenings around it, or you cancel plans that might interfere with it. Slowly, life becomes smaller. Joy, hobbies, and relationships begin to fade behind the fog of routine drinking. It doesn't happen in a day. It sneaks up on you one skipped moment at a time. And when someone close to you finally speaks up, defensiveness appears. You snap back, insisting you're fine, that everyone drinks, that it's just to relax. That anger isn't really about them. It's the addiction itself fighting to protect its territory. It's like a shadow that convinces you there's nothing wrong, that you're in control, even when you're not. This denial is one of the most dangerous stages because it closes the door to help. It isolates you, and isolation is where alcohol does its worst damage. By the time your stomach begins to protest, with constant heartburn, acid reflux, or painful cramps, the internal damage is already underway. Alcohol eats away at the lining of your gut, flooding your system with acid and destroying the balance of bacteria that keeps your body healthy. The burning in your throat or the sour taste in your mouth isn't just discomfort, it's corrosion. And it only gets worse if you ignore it. All these signs can seem small on their own, but together they paint a terrifying picture of a body and mind under siege. If you're recognizing even a few of them, your body is not betraying you. It's begging you to stop before the train hits. Each of those symptoms may feel manageable in isolation. You tell yourself it's not serious, that everyone feels tired, forgetful, or irritable sometimes. But that's the illusion alcohol creates. It makes destruction feel ordinary. What begins as a drink to unwind slowly rewires your chemistry, dulls your instincts, and convinces you that chaos is normal. The danger lies not in one big collapse, but in the quiet erosion that happens day after day while you keep saying, "I'm fine." The truth is that your body can only take so much before it begins breaking down. Alcohol doesn't just harm the liver. It affects every organ, every system, every thought. The digestive system suffers first, but the damage doesn't stop there. When the gut deteriorates, it stops absorbing nutrients properly. Then the brain starts losing focus, energy drops, emotions swing wildly, and you start to forget small details. Where you put your keys, what you promised someone, what you said last night. Memory lapses are not harmless. They mean your brain's communication pathways are being disrupted. The part of your mind that transfers short-term memories into long-term storage becomes overloaded, like a computer that freezes mid-save. Those blank spaces, those missing moments, are physical proof of harm happening inside your brain. Each blackout or fuzzy night erases a little more of who you are. It's not just forgetfulness, it's damage. Over time, these gaps start to spill into your relationships. People lose trust, promises get broken, friends stop calling, family grows distant, and loneliness becomes the only company that feels safe. But even then, alcohol whispers, convincing you it's still your friend, that it numbs the guilt, quiets the shame, silences the thoughts that keep you awake at night. And for a moment, it works. That's the cruel trick. The very thing destroying you is the only thing that seems to bring relief. But here's the hard truth. There's no comfortable way out of addiction. It doesn't end through half measures or waiting for the right time. There's only one real solution: stopping. Every day you delay, that train moves closer. Whether it's 10 miles away or right behind you, it's still coming. The earlier you step off the tracks, the better chance you have of walking away unharmed. What's easy to forget is that the human body is remarkably forgiving, up to a point. Once you stop drinking, your system begins to repair itself faster than you'd believe. The liver starts regenerating cells, the gut begins rebuilding its lining, your skin clears, your energy returns, and the mind slowly wakes up. The first few days can feel brutal, but underneath the discomfort is something extraordinary: renewal. Every cell in your body starts fighting for you the moment you stop fighting against it. Withdrawal isn't punishment, it's healing in disguise. The restlessness, the sweating, the anxiety. It's your body expelling what's been poisoning it. Those waves of discomfort are the sound of your system rebooting. The first week may feel endless, but it's the beginning of getting your control back. Each day without alcohol is one layer of fog lifting from your mind. And when that clarity returns, so does the real you. The one that existed before the dependency, before the excuses, before the blur. But here's the catch. You can't wait for the perfect day to quit. There will never be a day when life feels calm enough, when stress disappears, when emotions balance out on their own. If you keep waiting for tomorrow, tomorrow never arrives. The perfect time is now, precisely because it isn't perfect. The hardest decision is the one that changes everything. Every person who's ever freed themselves from this cycle began with one small choice: to stop lying to themselves. To admit that something isn't right. That awareness, that moment when you stop defending the problem and start facing it, is when the real healing begins. You don't need shame, you don't need guilt, you just need honesty. It's easy to think that drinking helps you cope, but in reality, it prevents you from learning how to cope at all. It blocks emotional growth, numbs pain temporarily, but multiplies it later. The courage to face life without it isn't about willpower, it's about clarity. When you finally see alcohol for what it is, you no longer crave it. You see it as an intruder pretending to be a friend. Imagine waking up clear-headed, no pounding heartbeat, no shaking hands, no regret. Imagine sleeping deeply without a chemical crutch, remembering every moment of your day, feeling real energy instead of borrowed stimulation. That version of you isn't gone. It's buried underneath the noise. The body wants to heal. The mind wants peace. They're both waiting for you to stop drowning them in toxins. Every day that passes without a drink is a day your body rebuilds trust with you. You begin to notice the small victories: steadier hands, better sleep, brighter mornings. You remember what calm feels like. And slowly, you realize you never needed alcohol to feel whole. It only tricked you into thinking you did. The biggest risk isn't the damage alcohol causes. It's the belief that you can manage it forever. You can't. Nobody can. Every drink takes something from you: time, energy, focus, health. But every day you go without it gives something back: freedom, strength, self-respect, life itself. Right now, the choice stands in front of you like two diverging paths. One leads back to the same slow collapse. The other demands effort, but it leads to clarity, energy, and control. The first path feels familiar. It asks nothing from you except surrender. The second path feels terrifying, but it gives you everything you've been missing. It's not about punishment or guilt or judgment. It's about survival. It's about reclaiming your mind, your body, and your time before they slip away. Because alcohol doesn't just shorten your life, it steals the days you could have lived fully. So this is your moment. You've already recognized the signs. You've already heard the warnings. Now the question is, what are you going to do with them? The train is still far enough for you to move. Step off the tracks. Walk away from what's been holding you hostage. There's a life waiting on the other side of this, and it's brighter than you remember.